Alrighty, folks. So we got Philip Song here, joining us on the call. Philip, good to have you.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Hunter.
Appreciate you taking the time here. I know you're busy working on clients, but let's dive right in here, man. Tell us a little bit about you, your business, and really kind of like what your background was, where you came from before you joined the community.
Yeah. So before I joined Super SDR, kind of a crazy background. I was a product manager for 3 years, working in tech, computer science background, got laid off, decided to take a risky life transition and play professional blackjack. So I literally just gambled around the country, counted cards, used a 2% edge to make some money. But that was a little crazy, got exhausting, a lot of ups and downs. And I was like, you know what, like, why don't I try sales? So decided to try tech sales, got into Brex. I worked in San Francisco for about like 2 to 3 months. Did really well, got some really great mentorship from Elijah Awoke. I
Nice.
think he worked at Brex too,
Yeah.
part of the community. And yeah, crushed it there. And then he told me like, hey, like, why don't you do the fractional stuff, right? Like, you're doing well at Brex, you can make more money doing the fractional thing. Saw that Elijah was connected with Hunter, reached out to Hunter, joined his program. A few months down the road, started learning closing, and then now I'm at like 15K a month MRR. So it's a pretty quick turnaround, and definitely making more than I was at Brex.
He just went through every question I was going to ask of you guys. Like, I didn't have any more questions for him. So what I'm curious, like, compare what you're doing now, the similarities, the differences to what you were doing before with the professional blackjack. Because like, there's a lot of guys that come from like doing sales before they join this, or I mean, I know you were at Brex for a little while, but just like, what was that transition like coming out of like the professional gambling thing, moving into sales, and then moving into kind of the fractional SDR stuff?
Honestly, there's a lot of similarities, more than differences. I mean, similarities wise, right? Like, it's both, they're both really tough. You have to deal with like some type of rejection, some type of negative swing. Blackjack, losing thousands of dollars on the table, and you're putting hours and hours and hours every week, and you might not get paid. Similar with sales, right? You cold call, you put thousands of dials in, you might not get a meeting until like 2 weeks down the road. But it's all about that like expected value, that like generated potential that you're doing when you're dialing or sitting at the table, and eventually
Expected value, generated potential. I like that.
Yeah.
Was that kind of the way you would look at things in blackjack, like just from a statistical like probability perspective?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to, right? Because like,
it's a numbers game, dude. Sales is a numbers game. It's like if you talk to enough people, you pitch enough people, you have enough conversations, right? Just like in your world, it's like you bet enough times at the right time. At some point, you're building up that, what did you call it? The expected value or the
EV.
Okay.
Yeah, expected potential, earned potential. Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what sales is, right? Like, hammering the phones week after week, doing thousands of dials a day. It's really tough, especially if you're not getting anywhere. But in the back of your mind, you have to be thinking that you're learning, you're growing. The more conversations you're having, the closer you are to getting that big deal or that big win. So both kind of apply.
That's sweet. Where do you feel like you've got the most value so far from the community? Like, what resources in particular, or just like kind of like parts of the community you feel like have been most helpful for you?
Yeah, I think the first one is like the coaching. Coming into the program, I was like a little bit arrogant or confident, like, oh yeah, I worked at Brex, whatever, like I did real well there. But like, I think when you're working with fractional SDRs, you're working with like the top of the top performing SDRs. And for example, Hunter, you have like so much more experience in like growing your business, like dealing with clients, closing deals. Those are all the things I didn't even think about as an SDR, like in tech sales. It's kind of like being an SDR with training wheels. And now it's like learning how to ride a bike and learning from someone who knows how to ride a bike. So just like getting coaching has been really, really helpful. And I think the coaches in the community have been doing a great job at helping me as well.
Good. That's really good to hear. Yeah, I know it's that's a lot of people like where they get the most value too, right? Just like that hands-on, one-on-one support, just like custom. What are you going through? Like, okay, we got a prospect, we got to find clients. How are we going to do the discovery calls? How are we going to close them? How's the fulfillment going to look? I know whenever I joined like programs in the past or coaching on things, like the thing I really needed most of the time was just like the one-on-one support, right? It was the accountability. It was like the ability to ask custom questions. And so I'm glad that's been valuable for you. When you joined, what, I guess, problems were you trying to solve in your own life specifically? Like what were some of the frustrations that you were experiencing that you were like, all right, man, like screw it, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I think coming from like Brex or tech sales, it's really bureaucratic, and you're very capped, right? So you still have to suck up to your manager, your director of sales. You have to follow some processes, um,
Hmm.
and you don't really get the rewards of like booking and setting meetings that you might do if you do by yourself.
Sure.
So earning that flexibility, that freedom, the ability to earn more money and feel like
Yeah.
I'm not capped by like some company,
Yeah.
is something that I was looking for, and so that's why the Super SDR, Fractional SDR, community really stood out to me.
Okay. That's awesome, man. I know, like, for me, like the reason I started, right, I hated managers. I hated bosses. Like I was not a very good employee. I didn't listen very well. I was always kind of trying to do my own thing. And it was a lot of arrogance at the time. Like I was trying to prove that I was like smarter than the managers. And now looking back on it, it's like, I was actually just that like annoying employee that, was always trying to one up the manager when in reality, it's like, they're just doing their job and doing the best they can. Well, cool, man. I know that the big question everyone wants to know is like, so what results have you been able to achieve so far? I know you went through it kind of in the intro, but tell us about that. Like, the clients, the deal sizes, where are you out from an income perspective, and kind of where do you see it going?
Yeah. So I think a good frame of reference is like, yeah, quit my job in February. It
Which
started,
you officially joined the community on January 12th.
yeah, January 12th, so mid-January. Quit my job within like 2 weeks. Um,
Yeah, guys, he jumped into it a little quick. He quit like 2 weeks after. Not everyone does that, but that was Philip's path.
Well, I knew if I get good at this, like I'll be able to make more.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe the gambling helped. I was able to take a risky bet.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so
dude, it for sure helped. Like entrepreneurship is very much being able to like stomach risk,
yeah,
right? And so in your mind, it was like, well, where's the risk, right? It's like I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna get clients. Um,
it's
yeah,
honestly riskier to stay in the corporate life because it's less expected value, right? Maybe corporate life is like 100 an hour. Let's say fractional is like 250 an hour. It's just when I'm going to see that come in my
hmm,
bank account. So
hmm,
yeah, it was pretty straightforward choice for me, but yeah, within the first month, closed my first deal. It felt really good. I was like, oh wow, like I know what to do. Like I feel like everything's going great. And then they didn't renew, or they're taking their time to not renew. And I was making like $0 for like 2 months straight. Um, was struggling to close, still booking meetings. I was like complaining. I went to Phoenix to visit Hunter. I was like, hey man, like what's going on? Why can't I
yeah,
close a meeting? He took me on a nice hike, told me to calm down. Told me to relax. Like just focus on getting 1,000 conversations, and you'll get there.
yeah,
Next thing you know, like had a bunch of meetings where I had potential to make 10K. Let's say like I had 3 opportunities like that. They were going well, and then one of them closed, 2 of them didn't close. But that's how it is, right? Like
yeah.
out of 10 booked meetings, one of them's going to close. And so now I've closed 2 more deals since that 10K close, and probably will be at like 15 to 20K coming into May. So pretty big moves.
Dude, that's awesome, man. It's crazy like how quickly people can go from like making 6, 7K a month as an SDR to just by like that simple shift of like, you know what, I'm just gonna go do this for people as a service. It's not like it
Yeah,
takes more time or energy necessarily. It's just like you just shifting the way that you're positioning yourself. I always tell people like my sister, she used to do trade show management for this company called Leggett and Platt, big manufacturing company. And so I would tell her the same thing. I'm like, why don't you just go find like 3 companies to manage their trade show, right? Like set their booths up, make sure the sales guys get there, right? Make sure they have everything they need. She ended up getting promoted, but it's like anybody in a W-2
yeah, exactly.
to do this, right? It's like your company's paying you for a service today. Like, what is that service? And would you be better off offering it? And in SaaS and in tech and in B2B sales, like most companies don't really need SDRs. So like you said, like it's kind of riskier to like be in the job, dude. Like it's only like a matter of time before they're just gonna lay off the whole team. Which is what a lot of guys end up going through. Okay, so what's been your ROI so far on the program?
No, it's been good, man. I mean, ROI, yeah, I was wondering when am I gonna get, the 7 or 8K I paid Hunter back?
Yeah,
And Yeah, it's been good. It's been even like the tech costs, right? Like credits that you provide with the enterprise license, it's you know, way more than what I would be paying. So it's been great. I think it's a worthy investment, but
Yeah,
only if you're willing to put in the work and the time.
gotta
Um,
be.
if you're not
Gotta
willing
be.
to do that and you don't think about like, okay, like what am I going to be looking at myself in 3 months or 6 months down the line,
Hmm.
then you know you're kind of just going in, throwing you know money down the drain, hoping that something will happen.
Yeah.
But it's really up to you to learn. The resources are there provided with the community and what you pay
Yeah.
for.
How likely would you be to recommend? I know like Elijah originally recommended you into the community, right? How likely would you be to recommend someone to us um, to join the community?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think honestly, I would qualify them.
Yeah, yeah.
I would ask them a few questions like, oh, what do you want? Like, are you willing?
Assuming they're qualified.
Assuming they're
Assuming they're
qualified,
qualified.
yeah, assuming they're qualified, I think I would recommend it, right? Like,
Yeah,
um, it's a I think it's a great experience. It's opened the door for me in so many different areas, right?
yeah.
Being able to work remote, choose my own hours, choose who I want to work with.
Going to Korea,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna fly to Korea this week and live there for 6 months.
So sick.
Just because I have the opportunity to do so, and
Yeah,
you know, like it's a great time. Like I can work remote there and still make a lot of money. So
yeah, yeah.
um, it's just been a really good overall experience. And I think for the right person, it's going to be life changing for them.
Who is that right person in your mind? Like what's the right type of person to join?
Yeah, I think it's an SDR who is hungry, who knows they can, you know, they're a top performer in their org, and they know they can, um, you know, manage a business and push themselves to grow and book meetings for themselves and close their own
Yeah,
meetings and run that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. What do you think we can improve about the community?
That's a good question. I think the community is pretty good. I would say I don't know. Something that I see is maybe like accountability, like buddies, right? Like I'm not sure how strong that is,
Okay.
um, and getting people to help each other. I know, especially like not everyone in the community is hitting the 10 to 20K mark.
Hmm.
And you know maybe that's up to them. Maybe they're doing it part time, but I think maybe there's a way to make it a little bit more systematized so that there's easier milestones and steps to hit. Like okay, book your
Yeah, I like the milestones or like the
yeah.
checkpoint. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, because I'm not sure, like, you know, book for your first 10 meetings, and if you can't hit milestone 1, then, like, there's all these different tools or things that, like, you should be doing in order to hit milestone 1 before you think about, "Oh, I wanna close, you know, 10K in AR or month MRR."
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
just focusing on one small thing before you move on to the next.
That's super good. I actually really like that. We'll implement something like that. Like maybe put together some sort of an infographic of like, hey, where are you today?
Yeah,
And like Hormozy has like their scaling roadmap. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but like you put in like where your business is at and then it spits out a custom roadmap based on like the answers that you gave it. And that could be kind of like an interesting thing to put in of like, where like when people join, like this is where you are, right? And if you're here, this is what you should be focused on. Because so many people try to focus on like, hey, I need to like, how am I going to fulfill and how am I going to report to the clients and how
yeah,
am I going to do this and build their list? It's like, bro, you haven't even had a conversation yet, right? It's like
I
you
agree.
need to talk. You need to talk to someone, right? That's step number one. But that's super good feedback, man. I appreciate it. This is fantastic. I'm gonna get this edited up. Make sure it's cool with you and stuff before we publish it. But thank you so much, brother. This is super helpful.
Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, another piece too is, like, I think it's, like, there's so much information, it's really distracting to know what you need to do at each certain time,
Okay.
and then, like not yes that's one thing is like right there's like closing discovery like
Yeah.
time management, all these things, but like you should really just be focusing on one thing, which is like okay, like can you book 5 meetings a week, and if you
I wonder if we should just lock all of the content until people hit a certain milestone. Because then the content can automatically unlock, right? And like maybe that keeps people
like
focused.
no because like some certain people might come in with different levels, you know, it's like
Yeah. And there's some people that come in and like they want to see the fulfillment module before they start talking about it, which I understand that too. So either way, we'll figure out a way to kind of incorporate the the
yeah
milestones or the checkpoints and like what you should be doing at each checkpoint, what you should be focused on. I think that's good.
because like my thing is I think certain people in the community like they don't they even they have you know they've been there for a few months or something, they don't know how to book like 3 meetings consistently a week.
Yeah.
Like if you're not able to do that, then how are you able to build a pipeline to like close deals?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
Or dude, it's even before that. It's like they're not even dialing for an hour a day.
yeah,
Right. And
exactly.
it's like if you're not, and I remember like one of the first conversations we had, like you came to me, you're like, hey man, like I'm booking meetings, but like what should I be focused on? How should I be spending my time? I feel like I still have a lot of time in the day. And I'm like, dude, like just dial for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like just do that for 6 hours. And you started booking so many more meetings for yourself,
It's,
which really gave you a ton of closing call opportunities, which
Mhm.
you kind of struggled with, right? And then you were here in Phoenix. We talked about things, we game plans and stuff around like how you were showing up to the calls, how you were pitching yourself, what the presentation looked like. And right away, like, deals started to kind of get across the line. So, um,
Yeah, I
no,
mean,
it's helpful.
honestly, I don't know what you do in the one-on-one calls, but like, yeah, I feel like that would be helpful. Like, I don't know, like if you even gave off like one-on-one coaching to certain people,
Hmm.
because that might be helpful, right? Like just helping them get to like X meetings a week, and then next is like, okay, get
Yeah.
from discovery to like demo, and then X is like, how many contracts are you sending out per month? Like,
Yeah, just like some like base metrics of like, hey, you should be shooting for this. Usually, what we'll go through in the one-on-ones is like, we'll reverse engineer the inputs required to
yeah,
get to where they're trying to go, the time that's going to be involved in doing that. But that's really step one, right? And then it's like, what's step two? What's step three? How do you make sure you don't like get uh, down on yourself along the
yeah,
way, right? I've been talking to a lot of guys recently around just like mindset, and because it happens for
yeah,
different people at different paces, and then someone sees someone else that had success before them, and they're like, why am I not succeeding? And it's like, usually it's just like a volume thing. It's like, well, you just haven't talked to enough people. Like this guy closed a 10K client, but it's because he pitched like 22 people, right?
yeah,
Before the client closed, right? So you got to make sure that you're putting in the effort. But
yeah, with a good
anyway,
group.
bro, again, super helpful. I'll run this by you before we get it pushed out, but have a good rest of your day. Let me know if you need anything else, and I'll be here for you.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate the
All right.
call.
See you,
See ya.
buddy.